Well, a new law goes into effect in Arkansas tomorrow, placing tighter restrictions on disposable vape products here in Arkansas. Maya Ellison gives us an overview of the law and what it will change.
Changes are coming to the natural state, affecting vape shops across Arkansas. Starting September 1st, Act 590 is set to go into effect. Filed by Senator Dismang, the law states that, quote, a vapor product or e-liquid product shall not be offered for sale in this state or sold to a person located in this state unless the manufacturer certifies it before that date.
This isn't closing stores or an attempt to close stores, but I think we should, and our consumers should, have some reliance on what products they're utilizing.
Now, that was Senator Dismang back in March. He explained that this law will place limitations on disposable vapes by creating a registry of approved products and improving inspections. Here's how it works. According to the law, the state's tobacco control will monitor what products come into Arkansas and approve the manufacturers through the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA.
How do you know what product is made in China or not, and what guarantee are you going to have that you will know?
The state saw another similar bill, HB 1626, filed by Representative Matt Duffield in February. That was to completely prohibit the sale of disposable vapor products. That bill died in the House committee in May. Senator Dismang told THV 11 that his bill is different.
All we're trying to do is create a registry so that when we ask tobacco control to go out and enforce, that they have a list to work from.
And we've heard from shop owners before, like Scout Stubbs, owner of Dripper's Vape Shop, who addressed media earlier this year. She says the law is concerning for businesses like hers.
This new fund will be paid on the backs of Arkansas small businesses who will struggle to comply with such a complicated law, not Chinese manufacturers or out-of-state vendors that sell through the mail.
We reached out to Stubbs for further comment, but did not receive a response.
That was Maya Ellison reporting. The legal battle continues over another Arkansas law that mandates the display of the 10 Commandments in classrooms and other government buildings. Last week, Conway became the latest school forced to take down posters of the 10 Commandments. A federal judge earlier this month blocked the state law. That ruling initially applied to 4 school districts in northwest Arkansas, but families in Conway filed a motion requesting their district be included in the lawsuit. Arkansas State Attorney General Tim Griffin says his office plans to appeal the decision. An Arkansas foster care organization is now partnering with a technology company to increase child welfare and help bring more kids stable and loving homes. 5 News reporter Claire Everbach spoke with the organization and the software makers behind the program.
Felicia Kikira, co-founder and CEO of Binti, first saw the challenges of foster care when her sister adopted 2 children and while volunteering as a CASA. Those experiences led her to create software that makes the application to become a foster parent easier.
What we try to do is make it really user-friendly for the family. So instead of applying on paper, they can apply online on their computer or even on their mobile phone, and they can just fill out the application online.
Kikira says the software also saves time for social workers.
Social workers spend 50% of their time on paperwork, and they want to spend that time with children and families. And so if software can really streamline the process for them, they can spend less time on paperwork and more time on social work.
Kikira says the nationwide shortage of foster parents has negative consequences.
What happens if we don't have enough foster and adoptive families is that children live in group homes, which are, facilities, and there's a lot of research that shows it's not as good for their outcomes, which makes sense. We even have children sleeping in offices and hotels.
And having more parents eligible to foster makes all the difference.
If we're able to license more foster families, children can be in family settings. And the more families that we have, the more options a social worker has when they're choosing.
The Answer Foster Care, a sister agency with The Call, is the first Arkansas organization to partner with Binti. Director Amy Hughes says it's about making the process less overwhelming.
We want it to be easy. We want it to be smooth. We want it to work out really well. We didn't want people to be stuck in a paperwork hole where they didn't know how to get out of it and they didn't know what the next step was.
And more importantly, it helps children find permanent homes more quickly.
So when we get asked about a child, we just enter the child's information and it gives us a list of the families that are available, and it will call, email, and text them for us. And so we're getting answers back to caseworkers faster. We're getting these kids placed faster, and our big goal is to try to keep sibling groups together, obviously, and to keep children in their home community.
Covering news where you live, Claire Everbach, 5 News.
The partnership, which started last year, has already resulted in a 30% increase in approved foster and adoptive parents for the Answer Foster Care in Arkansas. The Benton County Veterans Services is looking for World War II veterans. It's an effort to recognize and honor them and their surviving spouses at the county's Veterans Day ceremony coming up in November. Melody Kwok with the county says it's very important for them to honor as many of these veterans as they can right now.
It is very unfortunate that we are losing more and more of these veterans every single day. And we just want to take a moment to appreciate their service and dedication to our country. But we are also going to recognize all veterans. We welcome all veterans to this ceremony with just a special portion dedicated to those World War II veterans and their surviving spouses.
If you know of a World War II veteran in Benton County, Kwok says you can call the County Veterans Services office at the number on your screen before the end of September. Well, overcast skies may have kept some people from visiting Beaver Lake this Labor Day weekend, but not everyone. 5 News reporter Bo Russell took a ride with park rangers today who were patrolling the area to help keep boaters safe.
Hey guys, how we doing today? Good, how are you? Good. Hey, my name's Emily. I'm a park ranger, and we're just coming through doing safety checks with vessels out today. Could you show me a life jacket for everybody on board?
Today, Emily Phillips and Hayden Rogers took us on to Beaver Lake and showed us a little bit of the work they do to keep everyone safe.
Today doing safety checks with the vessels that are out on the water. So that pretty much entails, pulling up to people and having them show me a life jacket for each person on board, making sure that all the kids under the age of 14 have their life jackets on, as well as checking for their throwable devices on their vessels.
While the cloudy weather may have kept some visitors at home, others took full advantage of the quiet day on the water.
It's nice to stay at the lake, have our kids here and grandkids. It just doesn't really get any better than this.
Stewart says a lack of crowds actually made it more enjoyable for him and his family.
It's been a very safe weekend. We've not had not a single time has anybody really got very close. And seems like everybody's been pretty fair in their conduct, and it's been a nice weekend.
But just because it was a calm day on Beaver Lake doesn't mean there weren't any mishaps.
Another public safety announcement. Remember when you're out on the lake to hold on to your hat, because it can fly off in just a second. Luckily, I was able to get mine.
With my hat secured, ready to head back to dry land, Emily had one more piece of advice for lake visitors.
Have a boat plan for where you're going to be, let someone know what you're doing, and just be really aware of your surroundings. On these holiday weekends, there can be a lot of other boaters out. Some people may not be as experienced. So just really being aware of what everybody else is doing out there, and making sure you're operating safe as well.
I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.